Hello.
Hey, good morning, Pete.
Hey, who's that?
Hey, it's Michael Crouch. I just got to change my name here.
What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Well,
Oh, awesome.
day in the neighborhood.
Cool. Where are you from again?
Jersey City?
Oh, okay. Very cool.
You?
I'm on Long Island, but I went to Rutgers.
Oh, nice.
That was a long time ago,
Well, yeah, seriously. I was out in Huntington Station.
Oh,
last
I live
week.
I live in North Huntington.
There you go. Are those? I take those to be close to one another.
Yeah, they're pretty. I don't know. Well, for me, where I live is like an unusual place because it's right sandwiched between a state park and a national wildlife refuge.
Right.
And so to get to it is very windy. So I'm 15 minutes just to get to Huntington, and then you would have to go a little further south to get to Huntington Station. So I'm far away from everything.
It was very wilderness when I was there. I had a client who does poison ivy removal for landscapes.
Hmm.
So if you ever need a guy, I know one right there.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
Really smart. Like I went to his place for the first time. I've never seen an office quite like it. Like shelves and shelves of books on ticks and bees and poison oak and poison ivy and bamboo, and it was quite a sight.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, please continue. I'm not sure where the conversation is, but sounds interesting.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding, Pete. Happy to have you. Dean, I know we've been playing a little phone tag. Let's just make sure we coordinate that today. Michael, I haven't heard your message from the WhatsApp, but I'm looking forward to connecting. And of course, Mr. Young, happy to have you, brother.
Hey,
Good
morning, Fernando.
Fernando, have we been?
After the huddle?
Whoa. Say again?
Do you have time right after the huddle?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it after the huddle, Dean.
Okay, great. I'll give you a call when we get done.
Awesome.
Fernando, have we been playing phone tag? If so, I was unaware that I was playing.
No, sorry. I know me and Michael have been playing phone tag, not me and you, brother. Me and you
Oh,
are good.
pardon.
Yes.
All right, good.
Me and Michael have, and me and
Correct.
Dean just coordinated a time.
Because if I was playing like a physical activity, I'm sure I would have recently known about it, considering the lack of physical activity I've been displaying.
Yes. No, sir. You are on your game. Pete, where are you again in the world?
Jersey City.
Jersey City. Awesome. You got any plans for this weekend?
Ben invited me down to the house, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was happening.
When does it start? Is it starting on Friday or Saturday or Sunday?
It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday being the most ideal. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday being spectacular.
What's going on Friday in case I need to take, like, because I'm free the weekend, but if I have to take appointments or anything, what's Friday?
Friday, it is okay, so the whole outcome of the weekend is to equip everyone with the language of the formula, go through all the tools that we have available for that process, and then have everyone walk away by Sunday having an action plan on how to execute on the formula, a personalized action plan. So Friday, it's going to be less of a crowd, so it's going to be a lot more intimate. Saturday, we see the majority of people coming, so we're going to have everyone that came Friday be teaching Saturday, and then Sunday, we kind of recreate the weekend and then walk away with some action plans.
So us who are so far away and can't participate, can we get a hold of some of those materials so that we can see what's going on?
Yeah, so this is, we've been in the organizational phase of it all. So this weekend is when we're going to kind of unveil, get reactions, get some feedback. We're going to go back and curate clean, and then we're going to be mass, sending them out. So you will definitely have access to them soon, Dean.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Sure. Cool. Thank you for asking. I got Leland on the line. Leland, welcome. Tyler, welcome. Nate, I know you shot me a text last night as well. We'll make sure to connect. Thank you for being on the call. Let's see, who else do we got on here? Who is the 466 number? Got another one in here. Hi, 201-466. Who's that? All right, they're waiting. We got another number of 485. 485 is who? Say again? Oh, I think that was Matthew, but now he's on mute. Okay, Cal, you should be joining us soon. We'll give him some time. Hey, who is that?
This is Matthew.
Hey, Matthew, what's up, brother? Thank you for being on. I'm doing outstanding. Yes. Sergio, welcome. Thank you, Sergio, for jumping in. Let's see. We got a few more numbers in the back. I wish there were some names to those numbers. I'd love to know who's there. Bronwyn, thank you for being here, as always.
Is that how it works when I think you call in by phone, maybe? Is that it?
Yes. So when you call in by phone, it's just the phone, not the name. So ideally in the future, we'll start doing some video. But for now, I'm just happy everyone's here.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I know Sean should be jumping in any minutes. I know he's with Dan Geltrude, America's Accountant today. So just want to make sure we just give him some time. Matt, welcome. Martha, welcome. Awesome. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share? Any wins? Any distinctions? Welcome, Darcy. Is there anything on anyone's mind that they'd like to communicate to the group? Is that
Well,
a maybe?
I'd be curious if anyone has actually sort of tallied almost like a cheat sheet of the 10 elements, the 5 questions for rapport, the 4 energies, and the 4 steps, right?
Yes. So there, I have a little worksheet. I'll drop that in the WhatsApp group. It does not have the 5 questions. Darcy would be a powerful access point. She is an insanely amazing note taker. So
Awesome.
she will be there with some notes. I will make sure I drop the sheet again, dropped it in the past, and it's one of the tools we're going to be sharing with everyone, hopefully, God willing, after this weekend.
Awesome.
Hey,
And
Fernando.
Mr. Callaghan.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. What were you guys chatting about?
No. I'm ready to start.
They were asking about having some access to some materials, some tools, which we discussed we're going to be sharing this weekend. We spoke with Pete, who's in Jersey City, about potentially coming. Ben had invited him as well. Me and Dean are talking after, as his company sponsored for him to be at the event with us in January, the game with us in January. So he'll be there. And Nathan, me and him are creating some possibility with Tyler about Nathan being with us in January as well.
Awesome. All right, team. Well, good morning. Hope everybody's doing wonderfully out there on this Why Wednesday. And we say the words Why Wednesday fairly consistently, but let's jump in and have a little conversation about our why and how it is the emotional and energetic force that leads us and drives us forward. So, Fernando, let's maybe kick off with you. And by the way, so everybody is clear on authenticity, if something is planned in stage prior, I'll always share with you. So Fernando has no idea that I'm coming to him with why. And for anybody else that would like to share their why, get ready. But Fernando, where is your why right now? Not what is it, where is it, in terms of how clear you are on it? Before you get into what it is, like how clear do you think it is, and how much of a driving energetic force is it for you?
On a 1 to 10, I would say the clarity is close to an 8.5, if not 9. And it is an insanely driving force. It's drawn me closer to some amazing people, you being one of them, because once I have clarity in it, it just, what I've learned in my experience, it becomes much easier to make decisions because emotions and all that will continue. The why tends to stay the same, may or may not shift in bits and pieces throughout my lifetime. Once something fits through the prism of my why, it's really easy to say yes, and it's even easier to say no, and that creates a lot of acceleration.
Cool. So what is your why, sir?
My why is to rewrite humanity.
Awesome. Okay, so now everybody, let's watch this. To rewrite humanity. So why do you want to rewrite humanity?
I want to rewrite humanity because through my journey of development, I've had my own fair share of hiccup and walls, which I could have avoided with some guidance. I could have avoided with some wisdom. And I believe that the human race could accelerate faster if the information, the education, and the access I've been given was given at an earlier age. So I want to be a catalyst for that type of acceleration, starting when people are much younger instead of 23, which is when I began to see some access and acceleration.
Okay, so you want to be a catalyst for acceleration because you wish you had had that.
Yes.
Why do you care? Why do you care about other people's acceleration?
I
And this
care
is an
about
exercise, and why, by the way. Each time we do this, we go deeper to the core. So, and I'm going to challenge Fernando and say his desire to rewrite humanity is certainly a why, but there's deeper levels to it. And this isn't, as we're doing this with Fernando, be thinking about it for you. So why do you care about other people's acceleration? Why does that matter to you?
It matters to me because I care about people's acceleration because there's been key people in my life, A, who have taken advantage of who I was, and B, supported who I was. And it's in both of those that I've had the greatest lessons of my life, whether it was a partner, a girlfriend, a friend, anything like that. There were people in my life that pushed me forward. There was people in my life that kept me in the same place. And there was people in my life that held me back. And I'm very clear that the people I want in my life are those that pull me forward. So as it's been given to me, I have a deep desire to be able to give it back as well.
Okay. So why do you want to give that gift to other people?
Because I want them to know that they're supported. Now I have language around validation and acknowledgement, which is something that I did not grow up around. And simply something as beautiful as that is all people may need to never feel alone.
Okay, so you want other people to not feel alone. Why do you care about other people?
I care. The first answer that comes to mind is I care about other people because in the different things I've done in my life, it's in seeing someone else, I'll use the word accelerate, grow, change, transform, has been the greatest fulfillment for me. I've done it for myself and it feels amazing. And when I've given it to other people, there's just an extra special taste of magic in there.
Okay. So underneath all of this, what I'm hearing is you want to rewrite humanity because you love giving the gift of helping people accelerate, create breakthroughs, because it creates a deep level of fulfillment in you to give that gift to other people.
Yes, and if I can sum it up in a sentence, a spiritual mentor of mine, Joseph Campbell, said that he doesn't believe people are looking for the meaning of life as much as they are looking for the experience of being alive. And that punched me in the face about a year ago, so it's recent. But when I become a catalyst for anything, it would be for helping others experience the feeling of being alive.
And when you do, how does it make you feel inside?
Like a fucking rock star.
Right.
Like I'm
That's
Super
the
Mario.
first time. That's the first time. Now we're at your why, because that's the first time you sounded in your body and not in your head.
Mm.
In that moment, do you feel that or no?
Yes.
Right. Even your answer says it.
Yeah.
So that's when you're creating. So Fernando, thank you, for
Yes.
that vulnerability, that openness, and exercise. Because, and hopefully you all experience that in your level 5 listening, and hearing Fernando transition from his head to his heart. And you could walk people through that same exercise as an incredible gift for people. Did I feel good to share that, Fernando?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that access. It does feel good.
Yeah. And so for other people out there, does anybody else want to share their why?
I would absolutely love to share, Sean. It's Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, how are you? And by the way, super psyched, that you're going to make it to our little breakthrough session this weekend. So thank you for that.
Oh, I'm super excited too. I'll be up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get myself to the airport, but it'll be all good.
Yeah, no, awesome. So what's your why?
My why is definitely my children. They brought
Awesome.
me more of a sense of fulfillment than anything I've ever known in my whole life. They are what drives me. They are what kept me going in some really dark times. For those that don't know, being married to an addict that overdosed and died, I was widowed very early in my 30s.
Oh my God, I'm very sorry.
And,
Wow.
you know, it was during the years of the abuse and the addiction that I felt like giving up, but it was because of my children. I did not. And to watch them grow and evolve, and now as young women, being 23 and 24, plus my 2 adopteds, I adopted 2 daughters
Wow.
after my husband passed away. And to be able to
So,
give the
and
gift,
how old are your adopted daughters?
25 and 26. So there's 4 girls, 23,
So you have
24, 25, 26.
23, 24, 25, and 26 girls. Wow.
Yes.
That must have led to a few interesting moments.
Yeah.
Lots of chaos and lots of laundry. And lots
Wow.
of pancakes.
Wow.
So, you know, I don't regret one moment from adopting them. They had very similar situations as to what my children had gone through with trying to
Wow.
get my husband to approach recovery, which he never did. And it just, having them in my life has taught me how to dig deeper than I ever fucking thought possible. It still is, even though, you know, the 2 older ones are succeeding. My 24-year-old started college at 16. She's very successful as a dual certified labor and delivery nurse, and she's also certified in pediatric trauma. And my youngest, who's 23, is now in private university going for a biomedical equine science as well as dermatology. So I don't know how they do it. I sit back and know how hard I've worked, and I watch both of them and my 2 adopteds work their butts off. And anytime somebody badmouths millennials, I point them in their direction.
Well, I'm hearing your pride. I'm hearing your clarity. I'm hearing the energy around it. And you've obviously done a remarkable job under incredibly challenging circumstances. So
Yeah. And
congratulations on that.
It made it all, you know, everything working the endless hours and the craziness, and, you know, wondering if I was going to be able, you know, like I hear your stories, Sean, about going on like 2 hours of sleep for like 3 weeks straight. And I know what that feels like.
Wow. And not many people do. So thank you for that, you know, for sharing that. And so now you say, you know, your children are your why. But what do you mean? Like, what is it that makes you feel when you're taking care of them, when you're leading them, when you're supporting them? When you say they're your why, what does it mean?
What it means to me is knowing I had 0 guidance growing up. I had a very lost childhood. And, you know, my father's a very beautiful person. However, one of the things he said to me when I was preparing for college is, don't be getting any of those crazy pipe dreams, because the world desperately needs mediocre people. And that was
Wow.
my, like, are you fucking kidding me? Thanks for having faith in my capabilities and my dreams.
Wow.
And that was actually,
I'm sorry that happened. Yeah.
Honestly, it was a gift, because it was like, all right, I'm going to fucking show you. Don't you dare call me mediocre. And,
Amazing.
you know, a short time later, I packed up my car and didn't even have a place to live. And I drove from Wisconsin to Florida and lived out of my car for 2 weeks until I found an apartment. So, you know, it's, you know, it gave me the sass that I still have today in my 50s. And what I believe drives me now is the gifts and education and fulfillment and people that have come into my life. And where I am now in my 50s, I've been able to be a beacon of that energy for my children at such a young age.
And when you are that, and when you're not your father, and when you are that beacon for your children, how does it make you feel?
It's amazing because, of course, they're old enough to drink, so they invite me to go out with their friends. And here I am, 52 years old, going out with them for like happy hour. And I see them interacting with their girlfriends who are going through boyfriend struggles. And they're like, no, come on now, you need to set boundaries and you need to talk to my mom. She'll reinforce everything you need to know to just say goodbye and walk away from that asshole. I'll be like listening to them talk and utilizing stuff that I didn't realize they were absorbing, because when I get stressed out or whatever, they'll jokingly, tickle me or say, Mom, go to your Tony Robbins place, don't get mad, go to your Tony Robbins place, and they're ribbing me and making jokes and being silly, but they get it.
Yeah. So in the end, right, if you have it all your way, and what we're connecting now, this everybody, our whys to where we're going, what happens? So what's your legacy? What are your dreams from here?
My legacy and what my dreams are from here are just to constantly be that beacon, because I know beyond everything that the ripple effect matters. And I feel my own sense of fulfillment, and I feel valuable to the world where I never did before.
Oh, that is awesome.
That actually, from my Date with Destiny.
Go. Yeah. Go.
Well, in Date with Destiny, my first time attending in 2011, my primary question is, how do I convince people to value me?
Wow. Well, you are valued, and well, you shifted. Obviously, what is it now?
I'm sorry?
What have you shifted that question into now?
Oh, just how could I be the conduit for people to awaken to their own possibilities and dreams?
And when you're the conduit helping people awaken to their possibilities and dreams, how does that make you feel?
Oh, like bawling my eyes out in the best way. It's
awesome.
Like everything I could possibly want and live for.
Awesome. All right, Kelly and Fernando, stay live for a second, and we'll take questions in one moment. What I want to demonstrate briefly, because we're coming close on time and overtime now, is that when Kelly or Fernando comes up against a moment of acting, confronting, making something happen, we all have fear. Like, I don't think, Kelly, have you lost all your fear in life?
No.
So we all come up against fear, and the skill piece in our self-mastery is having our why be very present to us. So when we begin to experience fear, it's that tsunami of energy in our why that Kelly was just in her heart, Fernando was in his heart. And in that moment, having that tsunami overcome the little wave heading into that tsunami when our fear arises. And what I've experienced personally and seen a lot of folks go through is what we'll have our why kind of sitting in one space, and then our fear will arise. And when it does, we'll disconnect from our why instead of plugging into it like an outlet. So the piece for today is, right, the takeaway is to plug ourselves into our why like it's an outlet. So when our fear arises and begins to stop our action, we're able to say, pause, I'm just not plugged in. Like it's a charger. Like plug into the why, and that tsunami of energy connected in our heart, not our head, in our heart to our why, overcomes our fear in the moment, or distraction, or procrastination. Does that make sense, team?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, and really have that be present today, throughout the day, every time you're feeling off track, every time we're not going to ask, every time that we're going to let people hide or have something happen, plug back into our why, your why, beyond purpose and moving forward. So with that said, any questions about anything today or wins people want to share? Final, I want to acknowledge Ben Fox and say, Ben, tremendous job. Ben put together an incredible meeting with quite a remarkable person who's built something extraordinary for the company called Momentum that has gone from a $3 million to a north of $600 million solar company. It's been listed in Inc. magazine for 3 consecutive years in the Inc. 500. And Adam has built the call center and the sales processes, has his fingerprints on it all over the place. And it was a remarkable dinner. We didn't leave Capitol Grill last night to close to midnight. So I want to acknowledge and thank Ben for that. I want to acknowledge Adam for that. It was a relationship that Ben built at Business Mastery back in Vegas. So fantastic job. And yeah, so it is Why Wednesday, Fernando. Any final? Yeah, Ben, thank you. You there, brother?
I am here. Yes, thank you. It was. Can I say one quick thing?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool. I want to tell you, I sat there last night with you and Adam telling high-level stories, you know, and I thought about myself in that room, and I thought, like, how did I get here? With respect to myself and respect to everybody, it was amazing. But a true question, how did I get there? But more than that, like how do I feel comfortable in this room? Because I felt very comfortable. And you guys have a lot of grace, and you help me feel just so comfortable. Like, you know, what you've done and what Adam has done in this world, it's amazing. And I've done a couple cool things, so I felt like okay at the table. But really, with the integrity of the Calorie Results formula, which I feel is like a philosophy, you put it on like a coat, it keeps you warm. I drove with Adam in his Maserati that he earned through his work, his legendary work. And I asked him questions. It was the most natural rapport building I've done. I spent quite a bit of time with him yesterday. And I kind of felt, it was interesting, I kind of felt like I was surfing on the ocean for a minute. And when I was building rapport and just asking organic questions that were just so natural, because I've been doing this, been working with you for a year, real steady. And it was so natural. I felt like I was surfing. I felt like I was just sitting there on a surf stand, like shoulders squared on the surfboard. And the world was all around me. It was the ocean, but his stories were the waves. And I was surfing on the waves. And I got to tell you, it truly energetically felt that way. Like I asked the most natural questions that just came to me naturally. And the story went so far. And he a couple times he's like, Ben, I'm so glad I get to tell you this. And he just had to state that. Like, he's like, ah, wow. And it was like he understood that we were doing something. He understood that this was like not a normal everyday situation that we were in the car. And he was like, he wanted to acknowledge that. And he's like, he didn't want to like break out of the what it was, the moment we were in, to like talk about how did we get here in this moment. But he knew something was special. And we talked about the Calorie Results formula specifically, like pointed out. But we kept on saying, like, we'll come back to talk about the words and like language of how we're creating this moment. But he was there with me. And he was like, what is this? Like, truly, he was like, what is happening right now? We had to drive like a little bit over an hour to get to Capitol Grill last night. And I was like, this is the Calorie Results formula. We've been dancing around it on the phone, talking about it. And here's what we came up with. You said it last night. For 20 years, you've been compiling beautiful notes that you've lived through in your heart and literally in a journal. And you've gone back and you've put it all together in a way that makes sense. And you've added your own heart to it. And thank you for sharing that heart. Adam felt that heart energetically transferred. Justin us talking about it. And here's what we said. It's like, well, Sean, he gave language to something so we can actually describe something back and forth. And we can like look at it on a table, like objectively, and say, wow, take it apart, put it back together, and share it. And that's what he and I were talking about on the car on the way over there to hang out with you last night. And that meeting was over 4 hours. And it didn't seem like it. And so
we didn't order.
I felt like a surfer on a surfboard, and it was just amazing because we stayed up on that board all the way to the shore.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. It was amazing.
Well, you know what the great irony is about that, Ben, don't you?
Please tell me.
The great irony is that you're gonna be on a surfboard in a couple of days, and that's what's gonna happen now. So if you're saying you're on a surfboard, brother, like we're going in the ocean and putting you on a surfboard this weekend. That's what's gonna happen.
Boom. All right. I'm down for that.
That is what's gonna happen.
Looking forward to it.
Yes. And so we will have you safe and secure, and we're going to make that happen. So that is awesome, number one. Number two, yes, language, and for all of us out there, Malcolm Gladwell, in his great work, talks about, and Malcolm Gladwell, again, is not a personal development person. He's not teaching us how to do certain things, but cites unbelievable amounts of studies that demonstrate the power of the results formula and other elements of what we're up to here. And you're all translators now. And the idea is to become a translator. And a translator is somebody that can give language and birth to ideas, concepts, messages. And that's how truths, and that's how we help people see what they don't see, by translating. Because people don't speak the language of acceleration and influence and process mastery and ecosystem, and we're giving people a language for how they're going to create their acceleration. And when incredibly talented people have found their way there, when we give them more of a language and a system to it, that's when they can create even more exponential acceleration. So, drop the mic moment, for all of us is when we could have a dinner with somebody like Adam last night, sit there and not order for 2 hours. And I kept saying, like, I felt bad. I was running behind, which is not uncommon, unfortunately. And I get there and, Adam and Ben have been waiting. We still don't order for almost 2 hours. And I kept asking Adam, like, do you want to order? He said, no. Like, let me, I want to keep going with my story. And we had such deep emotional rapport. I think he talked for an hour straight and just in his story and felt heard, acknowledged, and validated. And a lot of it was about his pride and the things he accomplished. But then, like with everything, we all have our challenges and our pain. And he went deeply into his challenges and pain and shared openly and was vulnerable and was like, how are we here in this space? And it was an incredible meeting and conversation. And Ben, thank you for, creating that opportunity. I think Adam is going to be there this weekend, at least on Saturday. And I'm excited, for a guy that's created such incredible acceleration to be there and sharing. And it's an amazing life for all of us. Thank you for being here on this call. Thank you. This is, my why is to give and share, to be an example of possibility, to use my talents because it feels like I am living on my highest purpose that God has created me to live in when I'm sharing and touching and co-creating magic with people. And thank you for giving me that opportunity and that gift. And for each of us, let's put our feet back on the ground, so we're in the aspirational heavens, let's get back on the ground right now and say this. For each of you, the question is, and I'm going to ask you, Ben, point blank, for each of us, the question leaving this huddle today is going to be, what are you going to create today? So we're in our why. We're in this beautiful aspirational space. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Ben, for all your sharing. Thank everybody for being on the line. But Ben, what are you committed to creating today? So you're in this space, and I'm going to disrupt something. It wasn't a privilege for you to sit. Well, I guess it was a privilege for you to sit with me, but no more privilege than for me to sit with you. So we're all equal, right? We're all equal. There's a hierarchy, like the world thinks there is, but there isn't. There's only a hierarchy to the extent we allow it to be. Everybody here deserves everything that your work, your effort, your heart, your integrity can create. And your hearts are massive. Your skills are enormous, even if your integrity-based human influencing skills, are still sitting in the 5s or 6s or 7s. What are you committed, Ben, to creating today? Just tell me. You're absolutely committed that tomorrow you're going to report back, and what will you have created today? Specifically, what are you going to do today, create today?
I specifically today am working on a press release and talking to the American Foundation for the Blind specifically about our event coming up in November. And although we are forming agreements left and right, we still have specific details to iron out, and we are doing that. And when you get down to the nitty-gritty, I am an artist, but I'm also a serious business person, and I'm committed to combing out the details today. Absolutely committed to it.
Okay, and so I'm gonna help Ben. We don't want to comb out details. Love you, brother. When I say clear outcomes, and what are the clear outcomes? You're gonna reach an agreement with them to do what? They're gonna do what as a byproduct of Kirk may be on. So what are you and Kirk gonna co-create today to make happen? What are you committed to creating?
I'm specifically committed to achieving a step that's really important, and that is getting my old mentor, who's always a mentor, Columbia University grad from their journalism school, to go over this press release I've been working on and give me her feedback. And I'm specifically committed to her committing to me to reaching out to several journalists in the New York area and passing that on. Not today. The commitment today, we have to have that press release approved by everybody involved, but I'm committed to getting those referrals today and to having that discussion. I think that is a powerful use of time.
Very powerful use of time. Tell me one more big outcome you're committed to. How about this? Who are you committed to getting a yes from to either come to that event or come to January? Who are you committed to?
I'm committed to, there's a couple folks I met at Tony Robbins up in there in the Platinum section that I've been discussing the event with. I am absolutely committed today to getting my man David he is absolutely excited. He'd like to come out this weekend. He's checking his schedule. I'm absolutely committed to that today. I'll be happy to report back to that tomorrow.
All right, awesome. So that's how we roll our days. We commit to specific action steps. We plug into our why when we start getting distracted off of it. But you got to think of highest and best use, specific outcomes with people, and have various ways to get there. That's how we drive each and every day. Even like micro distinguishing it into like half days and hours even. So let's go create massive acceleration today. This program is not just about intellectual stimulation. It's not just about, you know, touching our heart and filling our heart, and it's beautiful. It's about kicking ass and going creating every day. So I'm going to go kick ass today in front of New Jersey Real Estate Society. I'm going to rock their world and make sure they understand who the best person at delivering breakthrough transformational sales training in the world is. That's what I'm committed to delivering to them today. And then this afternoon, I'm absolutely committed when I head off to the AFB in Pennsylvania, making incredible things happen. That's my day. What's yours? Let's go get it. Happy Why Wednesday. Thanks.
Great day, everybody.
Drop
Talk
the mic.
soon.
Thank
Ben,
you.
let's talk today, brother. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Talk to you guys soon.